What's up YouTube, my name is Gaming5 4K and today I'm gonna talk about the LG OLED CX. I'm gonna talk about picture settings in a bright room. Enjoy the video. So you probably noticed that I'm wearing a mask, right? I have to wear this mask from my doctor. I got really bad hay fever, so I'm sneezing all over the place. So yeah, that's why. So before we go to the picture settings, I want to tell you guys something real quick. So many people get caught up in HDMI bandwidth and nit measurement that they fail to see what LG really pulled off this year. Because that three-dimensional image quality has been Sony's crown for a couple of years now, but I think the CX may have surpassed them this year. What many people don't realize is that the image processing on the CX didn't only get incremental improvements over the last year. I mean, LG seems to have tweaked their image processing priorities as well, which has worked out for the better in my opinion. The CX is the first LG OLED that doesn't seem to be chasing QLED. The chase to compete with QLED has resulted in LG prioritizing maximum brightness. And that's what gave us those radioactive greens and hot reds in the past, right? Because with the CX, LG has prioritized preserving highlight detail and creating deeper, more accurate colors. In my opinion, this is why they surpassed Sony this year in that 3D effect. Because LG is more willing than Sony to saturate colors, I think this results in a more appealing image. And like I said before, people get obsessed with numbers and specs and their real world experience gets skewed based on their preconceived conclusions. They always want the higher numbers, and I mean, for example, the C9 has a little bit more nit brightness than the CX, but human eyes do not see brightness change linearly. Meaning double the nit does not appear twice as bright. I do not know what the scale is, but it is certainly not linear. But I made like 3 videos about people wanting higher numbers and obsessed by higher numbers, so I'm kind of done discussing about it. So let's talk about picture settings. So most YouTubers review these OLEDs in dark rooms, black rooms, but none of them review them in bright rooms. I get why people are interested in a review in a bright room, because people watch it in daylight as well. So that's why I made this video. These settings I use in a bright room at daytime, and I use different settings in a dark room or at night. For HDR, I keep everything almost at max. I mean for OLED light and contrast. Just because OLEDs have a really low peak brightness, so you can pump up the brightness really high without losing any detail. So OLED light and contrast on the max for HDR. Everything else is default. I keep brightness on 50 and sharpness I usually keep on 5. Color I leave it at default 50. And as for gamma, I use 2.2. And I usually change that to 2.4 when I'm watching at night. And these settings I also use when I'm gaming in HDR. OLED light contrast at 100 and everything else is basically the same. For cable TV, which is SDR, I'm keeping my OLED light on 40 and my contrast on 70. Sharpness on 10 and everything else is default. Gamma I'm using 2.2 and at night 2.4. Now for watching movies, this is a bit difficult because you have regular 4K movies, you have Dolby Vision, you have HD, 1080p, so it really depends on what you're watching. But for Dolby Vision is officially mastered in 12-bit. If you guys watch my previous video about 12-bit, 12-bit needs a lot of nit brightness to actually show the colors of 12-bit. To show all the shades and to show no banding. But OLEDs never get that much brightness, so For Dolby Vision, I'm still keeping my OLED light on 90 and I'm keeping my contrast on 90 as well. Everything else is usually just default. You know, I keep a sharpness on 5 or 0. It depends on the movie. Yeah. You know, just keep those extra features off. You know, noise reduction, smooth gradients, all that stuff. Just keep it off. So for audio, I got my AVR connected to the audio return channel of the CX. It's labeled as HDMI 2. For the settings, I'm using pass-through, so I'm getting Atmos, Dolby Surround, Dolby Plus, etc. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So, and I also keep reading on AVS forums that people got problems with the audio return channel. It's kind of weird because I never had any problems since I first bought it. So maybe it's panel difference, maybe it's your AVR or your audio system, I don't know. Could be the HDMI cable. Anyways, I hope people get it fixed soon. So anyways, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you on the next one.